Hey guys, it's Chris and welcome back to Something Else Amiga. Since I repaired my 3000 tower tickled down below, the floodgates open and I've had more 3000 tower repairs than I've seen in my entire life. Anyway, this one we're calling the Quadruple T. This is Tim's 3000 tower. How about that? I got a dissertation here of 5 pages from an Amiga.org post from the owner. In this bag we have new chip RAM. Yeah, 2 sets of chip RAM with the little machine pin SAL turn pin sockets. So they're going to be replaced so that way all the chip RAM is socketed. As you know from previous repairs on my board and the 3000 tower from Mr. Jack, that the first 1 megabyte of chip RAM is a zip 20 in a 3000 tower. It is also hard soldered to the board. So when they blow up, it's a total disassembly and pain in the rear. It's so much easier if they would have just socketed everything, but that's how it was. Very good packaging. As you can tell, we are thicker than Shakira's thighs. So Tim went all out in the bubble wrap department. Alright, let's get on the old prison bracelet. Now I am also using the anti-static mat, but as many of you have questioned, you don't wear an anti-static bracelet, so I have had to reiterate that I put it on my cankle. That way I have my hands free and I'm not tied to a springy thing. So if you have no shoes on in your own home, feel free to, ground your ESD strap to your foot. Keeps the old meat mullets free. Big old wire from the CPU socket to a CIA. Here are your socketed chip RAM chips. Of course we have the 8372B, we have the Fat Gary, we have the Super DMAC 04, we have the Ramsey 07, so that's the combo you want. Oh, there's a couple bodge wire fixes underneath that. On the crystal, we have a replacement NTSC crystal, which is the wrong crystal. This is the wrong crystal. Wonder why it's not working. An NTSC crystal is 28.63636.630. I guess it's close enough. On a plus note, look at this. Finally. Hey, we have no ROMs, but we have a non-damaged 3000 tower. This has all original caps and they look like dookie. Burnt out one down here. What is this one? 25100. That's not right. First thing we're going to do is I need to disassemble that because I have to get the power supply and the button thing out. My power supply has since been recapped, so I know she's good. I have also been slowly thinking about contemplating doing a ATX power supply. I got the pin out. I'm just scared. Alright, I don't know the condition of the whole board, so I'm going to take just a little bit of time and read this small chapter novel and get myself up to speed, and then I'll inform you guys in just a second of what I think I might not know. Almost forgot. 10 a.m. on Monday. I'm going to double check the jumpers for this. Toss some diagram in here. I'm concerned about the clock here, and there's some crust or something. I don't know if it's whatever. Something's on the clock. The FPU has been reflowed. Somebody's touched it with some solder. Let me get a basic what the hell's going on with this first. Then we'll start reading through the Amiga.org Bible that it came with to see what was done, what was attempted, what opinions were generated for what wouldn't work. Hello, it's 3 p.m., just shy of. I took apart my tower. It's in freaking pieces. Because I had to get the stupid serial port out, which is behind the death drive tray down there. And, it's real fun. So I've totally disassembled my tower to get the power supply. I have my converted PC floppy drive. The doohickeys, I put diagram in there because it had no ROM in there. I get a low, I get a high, I get a nothing. I get a signal. I get no diagram anything. I do get a signal. If you see that Devoom TVU, yes, devoom.com, you can get one of those too. I have that set to my monitor because I can't tell if the monitor's getting a signal. If that thing beeps, it powers on. La 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 la, old man eyeballs in audio. There's the FPU, and you can see she's had some dental work. All the caps have also been bent over. Just about every single one of them is bent over. The owner asked me to socket the original chip RAM, so I will do that. There's a couple guys with some teeth that don't match the color. You can see one here, you can see one here. There's one right there. So we have some, now this board hasn't been on since 2007. So she is, she's Will Smith 1995, getting jiggy with it. So we're going to resolder the 4 points that hold this down. Otherwise you put stress on the copper that runs straight down to the bottom of the board for the DB9s for your mouse and joystick here. Alright, where was I? So we're going to put in the Workbench 2 ROMs. Oh, ROM sockets are extremely loose on this board. Okay, we got Workbench 2 in. Serial port's going to do nothing. We'll get a low high if everything's working right. We should get some kind of screen. We get a low, and there we go. We get no high. So we're stuck in low. That helps. So no reset bus, no colors, no clocks, no computer. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, the ROM sockets. They have been, she's been around the block, because I can literally pick a ROM out with my hand. Did you see that? I'll do the other one. I can literally grab this ROM and just pull up on it with my fat finger and pick it out with my bare hand. Now, since I'm not getting anything on this, this requires the old hours of death tracing pins and beeping things. This is a very large board, so I'm gonna blip in and out of repair status. Hey guys, Chris. It's like several days later. I'm working on Mr. Tim's 3000 tower. Tim's 3000 tower, so the quadruple T. Here we got the Andestar microscopo hooked up because somebody went into this bad boy with a screwdriver on the ROMs. ROM sockets are all gouged up. This is the Andestar screen. And right here you can see two plops. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse video it. Hit the negative. We're looking for dark lines. If there's dark lines here, they're cut. There will be some dark around here because of the lighting and the residual dust. Bingo, cut. Bingo, cut. Let's see if I can zoom in. Whoop. It might not be cut, but it's pretty daggone close. That one is definitely cut. This is just lighting. Don't worry about that glare. So in normal mode, you can see there's a gouge across this pin. And that is just that one. Wait until you see the CIAs. Well, here's a CIA. Right here we have a gouge. I don't know if that one's broken. That could just be paint. No, it's 2018 according to my Andestar's date there. So I'm going to remove the CIA sockets and the ROM sockets and replace all of them because they're all loose. It's 4 p.m. Sunday afternoon. Could I do a solder gun removal? I could, but I'm not going to because these are old boards and I don't want to risk any gouging or anything. The problem is this. When you go in and you don't use a chip puller and you're in a hurry, you use a screwdriver, this is what happens. So right here, that's ground plane, don't care. But right there, oh no. Yeah, that's cut. So I'll have to scrape that and see if I can do a small drag here. Otherwise, it's underneath. I got a point here and I have a point here. I got to print out some new sheets to do all my beep beeps. I don't have the same dots. Okay, 4:27 p.m. Second socket's out. No pins lost. When you go in your machine with a screwdriver and you do like this to remove the ROM and you pry like so underneath of said chip and you go like this, your screwdriver or whatever device touches these. Like somebody really went into that one, said crank. That's the two holes that would be on the side of each screwdriver maybe. I don't know. Here same thing but further up. It's right here. I don't even know if you can see that. It's very light. One break right here. One break right here. This is irrelevant because it doesn't matter. It's just in the regular plane. And that might be just some scratch that I can get out. It might just be superficial. but we have a busted line here. Before I do the sockets, I always run a continuity to their destinations beforehand, because I've been burned in the past on 3,000 towers with that type of scenario. You go and put the socket in, you start continuity teching, and then all of a sudden, oh crap, I have a line that's underneath of this that I can only get to when the socket's out. So especially on the 3,000 tower, that is. It's 4:31 p.m. and I just dropped my screwdrivers all over the place. 4:46 p.m. First CIA socket's coming out. 1, 2, 3. Busted lines. See these white marks on your screen? Right here, and right here. Those are stabs through traces. I have to pin them out. The problem with not these ROM line holes and these bus line holes is they're unique to the tower. They are not on the Sprint layout because the only one we have is for the D. No one has sacrificed the T. I'm hoping I can solder drag a lot of these back. They're small enough where I should hopefully be able to get the ROMs out. Oh, this one's busted. How the hell do you get a screwdriver all the way up here? Okay, second socket. So as you can see here, doesn't matter. Here, I don't really know. This is, nope, that's cut. Right at the via. And here, this is a ROM CIA line that is, I don't know what the idea of gouging these is. This is a pry mark, same as the other one was. This one has a bust here, a bust here, and a bust here. This one has a bust here, and a bust here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the CIA, and 1, 2, 3, 4 on the ROMs. So, lesson of this story is, folks, don't use a damn screwdriver on your ROMs. It just does all sorts of things. If you can't do it, I mean, if you use a flat blade and just do this. Don't go like this. If you have to use a flat blade, here's how you do it. If you must. Pretend this socket is in there and everything's cool, right? And you got a chip in there. Go in underneath here like this. Don't be lifting. Just turn the screwdriver. It'll prop the pegs up. Put it on the side. Turn it. Then get a fatter screwdriver. Something with a little bit wider regular head. And where this is a tiny screwdriver, it would lift it up more. But never, ever, ever go in and pull up on, because you're just going to do what has happened here. So now I got to get 4 new sockets after I repair and continuity trace the broken stuff. This needs a full recap after that. I don't even know if it works yet, and I'm not going to recap anything until I get some sign of life out of the board. So the 68030 here has bent pins. Mainly you can see around this area here. You can physically see the pins they're touching, and also up here. So this is the 68030. It does not even make contact. Look at this. It's been bent. This is not making contact. So yeah, these two are not even on. Tip tinned. Great. Just bridge them. That's just perfect. Yeah, perfect. Holy Christmas, is this moving now? So I got it fixed. It is straight, even though it doesn't appear to be on this angle. So this was bent in and over on here. So I pulled it out the best I could, and I re-soldered these 2 pins down. That should help just a little. 5:04 p.m. I'm going to just go ahead and zap that mofo out right now, because somebody's been in here. Because we have a line right here. This is the crystal. And got to repair. So, why was the crystal replaced? I don't know. Story gets deeper and deeper and deeper. 5:30 p.m. Sunday evening. So I took the clock crystal out after that wire thing, and the reason the wire is there is because the whole via is gone, and it does go to this little place. So the wire they did was correct, but they bent the leg of the crystal, which is the wrong crystal, 28.636 megahertz, not 63636 megahertz, which is what this clock's on. Yeah, I have to go over the pins just to make sure they're still okay, because no clocks, no computer, they're all jacked up to hell. 50 megahertz is still intact, and that's great. It would have been better to put it in a socket and do the socket method. You can take a 14-pin socket, pop the other pins out, and stick your crystal in that way. So I will do that. Crystal oscillators very rarely go bad. They are literally a piece of crystal rock that vibrates at a frequency. That is what a crystal oscillator is. Inside of here is a piece of crystal. Quartz, whatever. It's getting crazy upstairs, so I gotta go. Check back in a bit. Hi, it's 8:03 p.m. on the old Omnibot clock right here. I got my ROM sockets printed out, and what I do is just, this is all plastic by the way, got the old prison bracelet on, a cup of coffee, my Star Trek cup. I print out 2 ROM sockets. Now these are for an A500. Doesn't matter, these address lines are wrong, but all I'm using them for is a little square to let me know if they're good or bad. I wrote an U181, U180 back, laying them like this. They are how the ROMs are on the 3000 tower. Now, I use that is my dog playing with a rubber chicken, if you hear any weird noises. I use the 3000 desktop files. Now, please note, on here, the notch is this side. On my board, the notch is that side. So talk about making yourself confused. I'm going to start off with U181, which is the top. And we're going to go on this row first. We're going to say test U. And I need to start beeping, because I don't know what is broke. And that is always fun. That works. They go other places, like the freaking Gary, like the freaking Ramsey, like the CPU socket, right around where this wire was put in. You see how fun this gets? And that is one of 80. Like how my camera's not squeaking that much anymore? Is I click test over here. Sorry about the microscope there. And I go to this pin right here, which is U181, address line 16. And I know that this address line has to connect to this address line. You see how it's blinking in pink? Which was blinking in bright yellow. I don't know how to change that. So on my tester here, I go to pin 1, and then that should connect to pin 1 of U180. And it does. Therefore I get a continuity beep. But that is just this part. Now I have to test and make sure that it goes to the next spot. Well, these vias aren't all going to be here because the layout of a tower is different. But the Gary line will be there, address line 16, third up. Let's go further. Let's take her all the way over here to Agnes, address line 16, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7th pin up on Agnes from its what? Where's its 1? 1 is at its top. Its top is 1 here too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dead. Why? Because my Gary line is broke. Why is my Gary line broke? Why does this socket have marks all over it? On the physical device. See how this just gets fun? This is the first pin. So I'm going to pretend I didn't see any of that, and I'm going to go to the second pin. Yay! See how this just gets more fun. So that's 2 that are not working. 8:12 p.m. 8:21 p.m. I just found out the U110 has been swapped out. Also Ramsey has a busted pin. So here you go. You can see here's U110. And it has weird goop in between the pads, maybe old flux, and yep, so she's been swapped out. Popped out all the 68 pin ICs, stuck them over here on the old anti-static, whatever the hell, bubble wrap for now. It makes it easier when I'm diagnosing pins. So far, the first two are dead meat city. They don't do nothing. Now, their custom chips to their destinations work, but from the ROM to that, does not. Pin 4, strong, strong. So, something in the ROM line is still screwed up. If it was a straightforward repair, it'd be fine. When somebody else gets in here and messes with this thing, it makes it even harder, because now I have to figure out their mods and work to undo to get it back to the way it's supposed to be. So, I have scratched away this crap, like so. Alright. I am going to see if I can gouge that hole a little bit, and I'm going to try and flux drag it. If not, we're going to put a small piece of wire across it. And when I mean small, boom! So I mean small, because these dill pickles that are all busted up from chemicals and scratches don't do too good. There's a tiny piece of metal. I'm going to touch here in the end. Boom, repaired. Now, I can alcohol that spot. Okay, so that was the big gouge on 180 repaired, and it looks like it was the only issue with 180 that I can see on the top. I need to test these brakes on 181. Okay, 9 o'clock p.m. Look at this, 993 ohms. I traced the whole line out for that first ROM pin to the Super D-Max. So we got, look, got good continuity, solid 0. Ground. Underneath goes to this jumper right here, via underneath to this pin on the Super D-Mac, underneath Super D-Mac, 993 ohms. But if I go to pin 4, the CPU here, open line, I'm still tracing this one first freaking via. That's great. Everybody else, cool. Chip-wise, all beeps continuity. This one, no. I had a low continuity on several of mine when I repaired my tower. I ended up having to wire them through, and then it came to life again. Uncovering the mysteries of previous repairs and what the heck ever was done on someone's board is a living nightmare. But I'm going to keep on going, because that's what I do. I only got 4 of these left now, because I'm using them all up. Gotta order some more. Here we go. So with that, legs trimmed, we're going to put the crystal in place, following the board diagram of the notch out. That would be matching the dots here. Dot, dot. There's a notch out on the silk screen over here to let you know that's the angle. Cool. And the crystal even has an angled slice on the end of it. So that takes care of our clock. And this is just the first one, ladies and gentlemen. The first one of 80. It's been, shit, 4 hours? Just like that, folks. Listen. Yay! And roll zeros across the board. Holy crap. Check the second pin, 181. Whew. This should go to 703. Hot dog. We got 1. Wow. And that matches just like this, and I can continue on. That's 1. Only took a couple hours. Oh, God! Oh! Now I go to the other one here. I'm going to continue on. It's 9:11 at night, and I got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning for work. Maybe a couple more hours. So I'm going to continue on this. It's 9:12 now at night, and we'll see what we get. 3 small victories. I got off track. It's 9:20 p.m. Not too long after I said I was going to go to bed or get off of here. The CIAs, ow, something stabbed me. CIAs had some jacked up digging going on. I managed to fix 3 of the brakes by doing drag solder. I'm going to try and zoom in, but holding this pizza is a little bit rough. And here's the CIAs. You're going to see my 2 points. The one drag solder turned out pretty good right here. And the other one, if my camera would focus, is right here. One line. I had to scratch 3. and do a drag solder across it. Would you just get in there, and can you just focus? There you go, right, that one right in the middle. You can see the drag line. Yeah, so they're done, and that's cool. Oh, I have one more down here too that I fixed near the bottom. So one drag solder off of via at the bottom. There you go, right there. And I will clean all those up and continue. But for now, I think that's it for me tonight, because I'm running out of power and I gotta go to bed because I gotta go to work in the morning. I'll see you in a minute.